The crystalline throne room of Zerthenia shimmered with bioluminescent light as Queen Jin paced nervously before her council. Her scaled skin, normally a regal shade of violet, had paled to lavender, clear sign of distress among her people. The six-armed councillors watched their queen with concern, their compound eyes reflecting the gravity of the situation. "The Krell Armada approaches," announced High Commander Zaxil, his mandibles clicking anxiously. 300 warships. They demand our surrender within the solar cycle, or they will reduce our planet to ash. Jin's heart soul. 3 of them beat in discordant rhythm. The Krell Empire had conquered 47 systems in the past decade. Their reputation for annihilation preceded them like a shadow of death. Her people, for all their technological achievements, had never been warriors. They were scientists, philosophers, artists. The thought of her civilization being erased from existence made her feel hollow. "What of our defenses?" she asked, though she already knew the answer. "Inadequate, Your Majesty," Zaxil replied grimly. "Our planetary shields might hold for 3 days. Perhaps 4 if we're fortunate." It was then that Mace spoke from the corner of the throne room where he'd been standing quietly. "I can help." The council members turned to regard the human with barely concealed skepticism. Mace had arrived on their world 2 years ago, a lone traveler whose ship had malfunctioned near their system. Jin had been fascinated by this strange biped from a distant world called Earth, a planet not yet part of the galactic community. Against all protocol and the advice of her council, she had fallen in love with him. Their union had been controversial, but Jin had never regretted it. With respect, Prince Consort Zaxel said, his tone suggesting anything but respect, "You are but one human. What could you possibly do against 300 warships?" Mace stepped forward, his brown eyes meeting Jin's multifaceted gaze. "I haven't been entirely honest about why I was traveling through this sector. I wasn't just exploring. I was running." Jin felt a chill ripple through her. "Running from what?" "From what I am. From what humans can become." Mace reached up and touched a small device behind his ear one Jin had assumed was a translation implant. "We're not part of the galactic community because we chose not to be. Because the galaxy isn't ready for us." He pressed the device, and it fell away into his palm. Immediately, the air around Mace began to shimmer. The council members stepped back in alarm as visible energy began to radiate from the human's body. "Humans evolved on a death world," Mace continued, his voice taking on a resonant quality that seemed to vibrate through the very walls. "A planet where everything was trying to kill everything else, where the weather could destroy cities, where diseases constantly evolved to overcome our defenses, where predators hunted in the darkness." His form seemed to grow, not in physical size, but in presence. The temperature in the throne room began to rise. "We didn't just survive. We conquered. We bent our entire world to our will. And in doing so, we unlocked something in ourselves. Something primal. Something terrifying." Jin watched in awe and growing apprehension as Mace's skin began to glow with an inner light. His muscles tensed, and the floor beneath his feet cracked from the sheer pressure of the energy he was emanating. "The device I wore was a limiter," he explained. "It kept my abilities suppressed, kept me normal. I wore it because I wanted a simple life. I wanted to be just Mace, your husband, not what my people engineered me to be." "What are you?" Jin whispered, humanity's answer to a hostile universe. "We call ourselves the Vanguard. When Earth finally decided to explore beyond our solar system, We encountered the same thing you're facing now, hostile empires that believed might made right. So we changed ourselves. We pushed past our biological limits using technology, genetic modification, and psionic enhancement. We became living weapons. The energy surrounding Mace coalesced into a brilliant aura of white gold light. His eyes, once warm and brown, now blazed like twin stars. I am one of the first generation. There are only 12 of us, each capable of. He raised his hand, and a sphere of pure energy materialized above his palm. The council members gasped. The energy readings Jin could see on the displays were astronomically equivalent to a small sun compressed into the size of a fist. This, Mace finished. Zaxel's voice shook. That power. You could destroy this entire palace. This planet, Mace corrected quietly. If I wanted to, but I don't. I want to protect it. Protect you, Jin. Protect our home. Jin's mind reeled. The gentle, kind man she had married was a weapon of unimaginable power. Yet looking at him now, she could still see the love in his blazing eyes, the determination to protect rather than destroy. The Krell, she said slowly. Can you stop them? I can stop anyone. The energy sphere dissipated, but the aura around Mace remained. That's why I left Earth. Because being a weapon, even for a good cause, becomes exhausting. Here, with you, I found peace. I found purpose beyond destruction. He looked at Jin with profound sadness and resolve. But if the Krell want war, I'll remind the galaxy why humanity chose isolation, why we're feared by those who know we exist. I'll show them that some species don't need numbers or technology to dominate. We need only will. Jin rose from her throne and walked to her husband. Despite the energy radiating from him, despite the heat and power that should have incinerated her, she felt only warmth. She reached up and touched his glowing cheek. Show them, she whispered. Mace smiled a terrifying, determined expression. For you, my queen. For our home. As he turned and strode toward the balcony, his form blazed brighter. The council watched in stunned silence as the human launched himself into the sky, becoming a streak of light that shot toward the approaching armada. 300 ships entered the system that day. None left.